So a routine flight for hundreds of passengers from Delhi to Srinagar turned into an absolute nightmare, harrowing ordeal this evening as an Indigo aircraft was violently caught in a sudden hailstorm mid-air, leaving the plane visibly battered in pictures that we're showing you also of the nose of the aircraft. As the flight descended towards Srinagar, the sky's darkened weather turned vicious, and without warning, there were hailstones that began hammering the aircraft, leaving the nose of the plane damaged. Inside the cabin, chaos unfolded as expected. There are viral videos now emerging, shot by passengers themselves, showing the plane shaking violently. Overhead bins rattling and passengers gripping their seats in fear. You can hear many of them chanting prayers, hoping that the flight would land safely. And you can hear screams of panic. Thankfully, not a single injury has been reported. And let's be very clear, nothing short of a miracle that this plane managed to land safely. So kudos to the pilot as well. The airline, Indigo, has issued a statement. They've described the damage as weather-related, confirming that their flight did land safely in Srinagar, following all standard operating procedures. But I want to play out for you a couple of the videos that have emerged from inside the aircraft shot by passengers. Take a look at this. Five passengers inside the aircraft. You can see all of them gripping their seats in absolute fear, in panic, many of them chanting prayers. There are more videos that show just right after the hailstorm hit how it was pitch dark inside the cabin, pitch dark in the aircraft, which would have only led to more panic as well. And this is because of a hailstorm that had in fact taken place just as the flight was landing. So it was very close to the runway at the Srinagar airport. Another video, let's play this out for you. Another video shot by a passenger. Imagine the passengers went through there, the crew, the pilots, for all of them, an extremely harrowing experience, perhaps the worst flight of their lives. I'd like to bring in on this broadcast Air Commodore Bijendra Siwach, who is the Director General of Aviation Safety India. Thank you so much, sir, for your time on such short notice to be joining us here on India Today. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of the nose of the aircraft and the damage that this aircraft sustained, which is why everyone's talking about how this was nothing short of a miracle, that all passengers are safe and that the plane managed to land safely, sir.
Madam, good evening and thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Now, March to May is known as pre-monsoon summer season in India. And during this season, severe thunderstorms with hailstorms, lightning is expected and is known fact. These days, because of maybe climate change, the frequency and intensity of this kind of thunderstorm with hailstorms is increasing, and it's very sudden, very swift. Maybe pilots do not get even advance information. Now, Aviation Safety India sends advisory to all the operators throughout India about the precaution they should observe while flying during these pre-monsoon and summer months.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of them heed to our advice or they don't. I am not aware of it. But we do our best and we try our best to communicate.
No,
Now,
but sir, looking at
in this,
this particular incident, do you think that it would have been extremely challenging for the pilot to kind of steer through and ensure the safety of passengers to land in such circumstances, or for pre-monsoon shower, or for a hailstorm, and with the aircraft being damaged in that manner?
Madam, number of aircrafts go through this kind of, situations. If you recall, one aircraft from Amritsar to Delhi or Chandigarh, they experience Air India. They experience very severe thunderstorms with hailstorms, severe turbulence. The passengers were thrown from their seats. They were very, badly bruised and injured. So this has happened before on number of occasions. It can be very, very deadly, very, very serious. We
Yeah,
must credit the pilot for carrying out,
exactly.
even they declaring emergency and carrying out a safe landing. There appear to be not much damage as far as injury or something to the passengers. Yes, aircraft knows has been damaged. This is the result of hailstorms. The
Yeah.
hail can be as big as 1 kg in weight. So you can well imagine the impact of the
And
hail on the aircraft,
that
which is
explains the
moving at
damage
a very high
also.
speed.
Yeah, but also,
Yeah.
sir, looking at the damage on the nose of the aircraft, what can that actually do to the plane? Are we talking about a loss in air cabin pressure as a result of this kind of a gaping hole? Is that something that was possible, particularly in the cockpit, considering it's in the nose of the aircraft?
You see, the radar antenna is generally located there, so it can damage the radar antenna. It can also, if it is severe, then it can damage other controls also. It can be very, very serious emergency on board and can cause loss of control of the aircraft. Just imagine, even if this, instead of nose, if this hail strike was on the windscreen and the windscreen has broken and the pilot would have got injured, so you can well imagine what could happen. So that's a very serious situation. Pilot must try their best to avoid getting into such situation. But I don't know, there were already warnings on this issue. Since morning, there are the India Met Department warning that there's
Yeah.
going to be very severe thunderstorm. This was known, but still, maybe because of commercial reasons, these aircrafts
But
undertake
that's
flights.
that's then unacceptable, because they've put the lives of so many passengers, crew members, pilots at risk by allowing this kind of operations through such inclement weather. So do you think, sir, going by what you're saying here, that this was perhaps a lapse, that despite a hailstorm, despite clearly a weather warning, this kind of flight operations were allowed?
You see, you are absolutely right. But pilots take weather briefing, weather forecast. They have got radar picture. They get input from other aircraft who are flying in the similar airspace. So it's not that they kind of lapse. They take all kind of precautions, and sometimes this weather cannot be predicted that it can be so serious. I remember there's a flight from Kolkata to this place, Bagdogra. I was there on Boeing 737, and we were flying the president. There was no weather where we were flying, but 30 kilometers right of us, there was some weather. So you can well imagine 30 kilometers right of us, the turbulence was so severe, we thought our aircraft is going to break into pieces.
My God.
President was thrown off his couch, and all the cutlery, crockery, everything was broken. And we made prayers last, that we are gone now. but
so then,
fortunately
there will be
survived.
questions about whether we need to do a reality check as far as our warning systems go. Is that the problem? Or in actually ensuring that we heed the warnings better as well, a kind of process that better. But thank you so much, Air Commodore Siwach, for your time and for joining us with your expert view on what we've seen, really, the videos that have emerged and that massive gaping hole in the aircraft's door. So as you heard there from Mr. Siwach also, you have to commend the pilot for managing to land the aircraft safely at Srinagar despite those adverse weather conditions. Let's play out for you more videos that we've gotten from passengers who are on board that aircraft. So a hailstorm in Srinagar is what led to that incident. But like I said, we're thankful that all passengers, crew members, pilots, all perfectly safe. The pilot managed to land that aircraft despite that massive hole in the nose of the aircraft. No damage to life being reported, no injuries as well. Nothing short of a miracle. Thankful, of course, that nothing happened.